Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
An unsolved homicide case in Independence, Missouri has ties to South Dakota.
Back in 2005, the body of 22-year-old Lakota Renville was found in the community Renville grew up in South Dakota.
It's been 17 years we've been, and I hope that this year would be the year that they'll catch the person that murdered her.
An Independence police spokesperson says there is no information on any suspects. One person is dead and another is hurt following an officer-involved shooting in Rapid City. Authorities say it happened Tuesday morning in the 100 block of East Signal Drive. Two men were refusing to leave a home. One of them was violating a no-contact order.
That man ran from police, and when officers caught up, the suspect pointed a gun. An officer fired at the suspect, and the man fell to the ground. Police say the suspect had multiple warrants out for his arrest. DCI is now handling the case. A man accused of murdering 3 people and injuring 2 others in a small South Dakota town is headed to court today. Court documents say Francis Lang went into a home and shot everyone inside, including a child, in November of 2021. Lang originally pleaded not guilty to murder and attempted murder. Now a change of plea hearing is scheduled for this afternoon. The FAA is investigating a plane crash that happened Monday afternoon near Larchwood, Iowa. 2 people were taken to the hospital following the crash. One person was airlifted for serious injuries. The other has minor injuries. The Lyon County Sheriff's Office says it was called to the scene about 1:30 p.m. for a single-engine airplane that had crashed south of the Larchwood Airport runway. Authorities are still looking into the cause of the crash. Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, Perry. Good morning, everybody. Another hot day. Temperatures in the 80s and 90s, well above average. We are starting the day with some isolated showers and thunder showers found across southwestern Minnesota. Also an area in north central South Dakota. Some showers, thunder showers trying to move through that area as well. So we will continue with these temperatures above average as we go over the next several days, straight through the weekend and into next week. With these rain chances, the best chance to see the rain, western South Dakota, isolated at best across eastern KELOLAND. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. Well, Tuesday marked the 25th anniversary of the Spencer tornado. In this video, you can see how KELOLAND meteorologists covered the storm as tornado warnings continued throughout the night. KELOLAND producers and reporters also joined the coverage as reports from authorities and people in the town started to come in. The tornado killed 6 people and more than 100 people were hurt. You can find the full video showing how KELOLAND covered the storm on that Saturday in May 1998 in a KELOLAND.com original. Augustana University is facing a lawsuit filed by 2 former tenured directors within the School of Music. Lisa Grevelos and Paul Nessheim are suing Augustana University on the grounds of termination based on age, sex, breach of contract, and retaliation after placed Title IX complaints. KELOLAND News reached out to Augustana about this lawsuit. We were told the university does not comment on ongoing litigation. A retired fire chief in Colton, South Dakota, was recently recognized with a prestigious award for his 60 years of service to the department and beyond. Leroy Koopman had been a part of Colton Fire and Rescue since 1963 and served as chief of the department for 40 years up until 2018. He was nominated for the Lifetime Achievement Award as part of the National Volunteer Fire Council, or NVFC.
In 100 years, I would have never guessed I'd be honored.
Considering that this award is a national award and it's judged by individuals from all across the country, I think it's an outstanding achievement for Leroy and the state of South Dakota.
There's one Lifetime Achievement Award given out by the National Volunteer Fire Council each year. Over 80 local veterans will make their way to Washington, D.C. today as part of Midwest Honor Flight's 15th mission. The experience shows appreciation to them for the sacrifices they and their peers made for their country.
I personally think it's great. I think it's time to remember and reenact, and I think it's also a time where we kind of build a respect for the people that have gone before us, especially the ones that didn't get to come home.
When the veterans make it back to Sioux Falls, there will be a ceremony at 9:30 tonight at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Doors will open at 7:30.
KELOLAND's Dan Santella is joining the veterans on this morning's trip. He'll bring you updates throughout the day on Facebook and Twitter. Here's a look from the airport that he posted this morning.
We'll also have a story for you on KELOLAND.com where you can follow along. Plus, we'll have full coverage of the trip later this week on KELOLAND TV. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
Well, rainfall trends are a story. As we look at the maps last 7 days, including last night, we've had more frequent thunderstorms in the Black Hills, portions of western South Dakota, but then you migrate East River and the rains have been definitely more spotty. Different clusters here and there. Southwest Minnesota, definitely wetter on average. And now the forecast. We'll see what's next here. Let's bring up the maps for today. You can see that as we pick up these temperatures, number one, it is warm. It's going to be in the upper 80s, close to 90. Here on to Sioux Falls, pretty common. Let's see if we spark some thunderstorms in the northeast. There's some short-term trends here suggesting that this area may be the best opportunity for thunderstorm development, possibly arcing into west central, southwest Minnesota, where again, we've been having more rain as a general rule, and then southeast South Dakota has been generally drier. So let's see if that pattern repeats. It very well may do so. Black Hills too, we can spark some storms later today, and then tonight fill up down to about Hot Springs. That's fair game for a few scattered thunderstorms. I don't expect anything organized to cross into eastern KELOLAND overnight tonight. I think tomorrow we're in the same boat. We can pop a few cells here and there, East River. Meanwhile, western South Dakota could gather a few more of those tomorrow night. And temperatures day by day are still very warm. We're forecasting 90 today, Sioux Falls. Let's go to the numbers here on the maps, and you can see really for the vast majority of central and eastern South Dakota, it's a pretty warm day. We'll see if the northeast again gets ripened up here for a few more of those thunderstorms by mid-afternoon. Low tonight, 64 Sioux Falls, 64 degrees in Yankton. Any rain will be fairly isolated. Tomorrow, same story, upper 80s, low 90s, east and central. Now, western South Dakota is cooler. It's in the upper 70s to around 80 in Rapid City. And I think it just stays the same here. A lot of the days are in the upper 80s to near 90. Overnight lows, mid-60s. And not to say that the chance of rain is completely gone for the weekend, but we're just in a cycle right now where we don't have anything very organized. And so I'd rather take it, piece by piece and see if we can get some rain to ripen up Thursday, Friday. If that doesn't happen, again, we could carry a 20% chance for the weekend. We've done that for Aberdeen for now. But it's just more spotty rains, and so that's the way it looks there. Pierre, a little better chance we'll pick up some rains from time to time. We'll get into the weekend. I just don't see a lot changing there. It's about every day or every evening there can be some thunderstorms. And Rapid, your chances are always higher, aren't they? At least they have been the last several days, and that will continue. Find out more coverage online at KELOLAND.com.